Well, welcome to this week's book talk. I'm Brenda, Library Director in Eaton Public Library. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of authors that I enjoy and their recent discovers for me. First of all, I'd like to say that I do use my cell phone to listen to books as I commute, and sometimes if I just want some quiet time or when I'm working around the house, it really is wonderful to be able to take my stories with me. The first book I want to talk about, or the author, is actually Stephen King, which of course we all know Stephen King, but I don't usually read stories by Stephen King. I do like his movies, the movies that come out, and both of these books have been made into motion pictures. I'm talking about the Dark Tower one, which is subtitled The Gunslinger, and it was written in 1985, and I just discovered it in 2021. So I'd call it a classic. What would you call it? It's called The Gunslinger, and it's about a different alternative world and lots of larger-than-life characters that pursue good and evil. And that doesn't sound especially interesting, but of course it's told with Stephen King's great words and characterizations, and is really a fascinating read. I enjoyed it very much, which led me to the second one, which is The Drawing of the Three, which I liked even better. And in this one, it takes place within hours. It says, I'm going to read the back cover because it very succinctly captures what the book is about. Following the dramatic events seen in The Gunslinger, The Drawing of Three continues with Roland of Gilead on his solitary quest for the Dark Tower, leading him to a seemingly endless stretch of beach along the Western Sea. And really all these fascinating things happen, and it's very terrifying when you read it, if you really get into it, or I did. He comes to three doorways, and the doorways lead, surprisingly enough, back to New York City when you go through the doorway. But each time it has its own set of dangers, and Roland enlists the help of people who are on the other side of the portal, and they go back and forth. And so if you like time travel and a chilling tale and enjoy words, both of these authors that I'm going to talk about have a great way of expressing themselves that capture your imagination, but also delight you with the sounds and the pictures that you create in your mind when you're reading or listening. As I said, I like to listen, and I really like listening to this book by Melissa de la Cruz. I looked her up on Goodreads, which is a review site that a lot of folks use, but especially librarians, and they said that she had 116 books that were reviewed, and I was really blown away because I'm not familiar with this author. But this is a standalone book, and if you loved fairy tales when you were a child, you're going to really love this one, because it explores in one thin volume the stories that you learned about and ties them all together, and it's purported to be the true telling of the fairy tales, which is a lot of fun. And I'd like to read just a paragraph out of the book in the beginning. There's actual poetry. If you listen to it on overdrive or some other device, the telling is a wonderful story in a voice that really takes you there. It's like visiting a Renaissance festival and listening to the storyteller. So, once upon a time in the days of old, 11 fairies gathered at the court before a child to hold. Only 11, for the 12th was dead and the 13th was missing. An invitation for every living fairy except the 13th had previously been sealed, sent, and delivered. A formal request to come forth and bless the newborn princess. And that's the basis of the entire book, and I think you'll love it. If you did enjoy fairy tales, you'll really enjoy this book. So those are the 2 authors and the 3 books that I was reviewing for today. Hope you join us next time. Thank you.